Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to my channel. This is Delightfully Chaotic. Hi, I'm Tamara and welcome to my channel. So yes, thank you for stopping by. I am going to be talking about the Polygamist in this particular thing. What is this? Recording? I don't know. On my podcast, which is also entitled Delightfully Chaotic, I have this segment called TV and Teens, where I talk about all the things TV and teens. I like to watch the TV. I like to watch the things and the movies and things. So even though this is not a podcast episode, this is going to be my review on The Polygamist. If you have seen The Polygamist on Netflix, that's what I'm going to be talking about. And if you're done with it, please stick around and, see what my takes are. I'm pretty sure that my takes are going to be pretty similar to a lot of other people's because this show was wild as fuck. Like wild as fuck. It's about 22 episodes and yeah, I'm ready to get into it. So this is TV and Teens and thank you so much for coming in. If this is your vibe, please like, comment, and subscribe and all of those things. Thank you. So yes. I got around episode 8 of The Polygamist when I realized maybe I should, review this. I guess I have a YouTube channel that I'm trying to make content for. So that would be a good idea. So I started writing down notes and I have the notes in my computer. So I will be looking down just to kind of make sure that I'm adhering to the notes. There's a lot going on. This is not going to be a video essay. I can't do those things. If you vibe with it, cool. I'm just going to be pretty much ranting and raving about the things. So The Polygamist is a show. It's a hit South African show on Netflix. I guess Wikipedia or whatever calls it a telenovela or whatever. I thought telenovelas were just for Spanish speaking, but I guess it's like a soap opera basically. And it's on Netflix. It's based on a novel by a Zimbabwean author, Sue Nyathi. Now, I'm American, sad to say. So I apologize in advance for any of my South African people. I don't want to offend anyone because I don't know the things and I don't know how to pronounce the things. I am going to try. So a South African author, her name is Sue Nyathi. I'm sorry, Sue girl. Sue girl, you wrote the things, honey. You wrote things. We can say that, Sue girl. So Sue girl wrote the things. It's a series that follows Joyce Gomorrah, which is the main protagonist of the movie. I'm going to keep on saying movie because this thing was so damn long, even though I didn't watch it straight through. Of course I didn't, but it just seemed like a movie to me series. So Joyce is the main protagonist of the series. When the very first episode comes on, there's this huge dramatic opening, flinging of the church doors. And Joyce is accompanied with her children, one on each side. She has a son and a daughter. We'll get into those names shortly. And she's, walking up to a casket. There's someone in the casket. The person in the casket was her husband, ex-husband, he's dead. So this is the beginning of the series. So at this point, you pretty much know, okay, this man has died. Who killed him? She leans into the casket. She says something she says something to the effect of, hey, play stupid games, win stupid prizes, something to that effect. And we're thinking, okay, something happened to this man. What happened? So immediately you're thinking, okay, this is a whodunit kind of thing. Somebody killed this man. Who did it? So the camera pans into the audience and there's different people that it kind of focuses on. So you can kind of surmise that these are the people that are going to be main characters in this series, right? So we have, of course, the children and there's a few other people that they're kind of panning over to. So we kind of can figure out okay, these people are going to be pivotal. These people are going to be important to the damn storyline. Huh? And it's about 2 people in this show who have actual common sense. The Polygamist, I guess you can imagine this man is just out here doing the things. Now, polygamy is legal in Africa, South. It is legal. But again, I'm sorry. I'm trying to get my thoughts together. So Joyce's life is seemingly perfect, right? She's this social media influencer. She has, on the outside looking in, she has a perfect life. She knows that her husband ain't shit. It's pretty much obvious in the first episode that he's really not shit. Like, he's out here up front and bold and in person, just like cheating on her. Like, she really tries to keep up this like happy marriage kind of lifestyle. From what I understood, her husband, they call him Jonasi. I don't know if I'm going to call him Jonas. So her husband, Jonas, is a CEO of a really big, I guess he's a billionaire. He's a CEO of this $1 billion company. And from what I understood, Joyce's father kind of gave him a leg up in the company to pretty much get him where he was. I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. She did mention once or twice that her daddy was pretty much the reason why he got the motion anyway to do the things. But he's this huge, powerful business owner, man, whatever, he does the things, right? She is also a business partner. So their company is called J&J for their initials, and they're business partners, but he pretty much is like, this is my shit, basically. Early on into the series, I want to say maybe episode 1, a lot of things happen in episode 1. So please forgive me if I'm scatterbrained. He has a brother who also works at the company with him. The brother's name is, the brother's name. The brother's name is, you know what? I'm just going to call him brother. Magesh is the brother. So the brother works with him. The brother is seemingly dating, this is all in episode 1. The brother is dating this woman called Matipa. Matipa is basically going to be one of Jonas's side chicks, basically. She appears to be driven and like really like trying to get in where she fits in with this company. This is like a really, reputable company. They're a reputable family. People people look up to them. So she's like, I want to get in where I fit in. I want to get a job in this company. Now, me personally, it was very much given, yeah, I want to get a job in this company, but I also want to fuck this nigga. Because she very well knew that this man was married, and she literally ran into the office to give him her resume. As soon as they came into contact with each other, the vibes were there, the flirtation was there, the inappropriateness was there. Like, they were flirting like straight off the bat. She basically dumps the brother and is like, yeah, I'm over here with your brother. So him and this woman are pretty much like, they're dating, like wide open, not really wide open. I guess they would kind of like hide and stuff in the office, but everybody knows that he's a hoe, basically. He's even kissing this woman in front of his wife, Joyce, like, and he ends up moving in with her and like going back and forth between his house with Joyce and the side chick. Like, he's outright brazenly just like cheating on this woman. And on one hand, I feel for Joyce because she was the first wife, and I could understand how you would feel if something like that were to happen, because clearly there were no conversations about fidelity. Even though you're marrying someone, I guess it's just implied that you would be faithful to that person. But I guess he continued to just do what he wanted to do, and she was expected to just allow him to do it. I don't know. Of course, things come to a head eventually at some point, because this nigga is dead. Hello? And he deserved to be dead. He was fucking awful. So the first, second, third episode is basically back and forth with him, the side chick, and Joyce. Again, going back and forth between the side chick's house and where he lives with Joyce and the kids. Now, the kids there's a boy and a girl. They are probably like late teens, early 20s, if I had to guess. I think the girl is going into a university or something like that. She has a friend who is from, I think her friend is like maybe from a lower class or something like that. With a single mother. So her friend is, a part of this lifestyle through her friend, that she can kind of like meet new people and do the things and have exposure to all of these things. And they're supposed to be good friends. So let's keep that in mind. Going forward, this man is fucking awful. I want to say by episode 8, that's when I decided to stop yelling at my TV screen and actually start like writing down the notes. I'm so sorry if you're confused. But basically this nigga ain't shit all the way up to episode 8 when I decided to actually write things down. At the end of the day, he ends up getting the side chick, Matiba, he ends up getting her pregnant. And not only is she pregnant, she has twins. Not only does she have twins, she had these babies in the same hospital that Joyce was in. Joyce was in the hospital because she was contemplating, after this man is doing all these things to her, she was fighting this side chick. Like the side chick was inside, they were in the salon or something like that. And the side chick saw her in the salon and she's talking on the phone very loudly to her friend. Like, yeah, girl, I'm fucking her man. Da, 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 da. So they ended up fighting. Like, you're fighting this woman. You need to be fighting him. Now, is she wrong? Yes, she's wrong. But you need to be fighting him. And he just doesn't seem to care. Even though this is his business as well that he's putting on the line, he does not care. Like his reputation he's putting on, he doesn't seem to care. And can we just talk about the fact that he is so basic looking? Like, he's oddly shaped. His head is oddly shaped. He has hips. I hate a hippie man. I don't like a hippie man, honey. I don't like it. But he's doing the things. He's doing the things. And the women like it. If they like it, what do we say? We love it. So she's fighting with this bitch. She's doing all of this. She's making herself look ridiculous. She's trying to conceal all these things to the outside, you know, to her followers, that basically her marriage is a sham. And she's in the hospital bed. I think that she's about to go through a surgery. I think she's about to go through getting her tubes tied or something like that. At first, I thought that she was going to get an abortion. I thought that she was pregnant, but I think she was going to get a procedure to have her tubes tied or some shit like that. She has some kind of revelation that maybe she shouldn't do it. So she gets up, puts her clothes on, and the doctor this is the thing that I didn't like about this show. And I don't know how the doctors are in Africa or South Africa. I would like to think that they're competent because there's smart people everywhere. And there's people who are doctors in every, you know, facet, race, creed, color, whatever. But the doctors in this show were just like, the way they wrote the dialogue for the doctors, he was like, yeah, there's another Miss Gomorrah here. Why the fuck are you telling somebody else's business? And this family is like a huge, well-known family. So you wouldn't think, maybe I shouldn't say that there's another woman with your same last name that just had fucking twins right down the hall. The doctor was like, oh yeah, you know, yeah, you can go ahead and leave. It's fine. But you know, there's another lady with the same last name that just had some babies. So Joyce is, there with her mother. For some reason, I guess her mom came. I guess she called her mom. I don't know. Her mom is there. And so her and her mom go down the hall. I guess they knew where it was, or the doctor showed them. Again, why is the doctor saying any fucking thing about somebody else having a baby? Isn't that a HIPAA violation or something? Why was that written into the script? So they go down the hall, go into this room. They see they see the side chick with the babies. Well, one of them. And then the other baby is being held by Joyce's husband, Jonas. We're going to call him Jonas because it's easier for me to say. So Jonas is holding the other baby. I think that was episode 7 or 8. That's when I was just like, bitch, I need to write this down. And so, of course, the camera pans to Joyce and she's like, her and her mom are gagged. You would think that would be the time that she would leave this nigga. You would think that would be the time that she'd be like, you know what? I'm going to leave him. I'm going to stop terrorizing my children. And because that's the thing. And, you know, I have been married to nobody. I have never been married to anyone. I don't really desire to be married to anyone, but I know me and I know how my brain works. And I know that after a while, I'm going to be fucking gone. I don't give a fuck if I'm married or not. Like, especially if you have kids, like to put your kids through that shit, like you don't... That's who I kind of felt bad for, the kids, because it's like they really don't have any choice. They have to have a roof over their heads. I mean, at this point, I think the son, I don't know if he was still in high school or whatever, but like they're still around that age where they kind of need that family, you know, structure and bond. And then your dad is out here like sticking into everything that will open up for him. Your mom is like pretty much allowing it. That's fucking traumatic. Anyways, Joyce is like, oh fuck. So, he really had twins on me and she still didn't leave him. Okay, yeah. So after all of that, the side chick had the babies. Oh, also, he came to see the side chick and she's like struggling with the babies. For some reason, she thought that he was going to like be with her after she had these kids. And he was like, I'm still doing what I want to do. I'm not staying with you. I'll come and go as I please. And I'll make you suck my dick. I'll make you suck my dick. In the living room. Or in the common area, literally by the door. As your aunt or your mother or whoever is in the other room with the babies, I'm going to make you go down on me. And she did it. The hold that this man had on these women was insane with his ugly ass.
So yeah, the hold that he had on these women, like the way that he was able to just have his way with all of these women, like the only thing that I could see as far as the appeal for him would be the fact that he is rich and he has access and he has all these homes and he just has all this extravagant stuff. Like that's the only thing I could see being the draw. And I'm not that kind of girly. I don't care what you look like. I don't want you touching me. I don't want you around me if I don't find you attractive. And I used to be that girly that would just like try to make myself find someone attractive. I'm not doing that in my 40s. If I'm not attracted to you, then it's a no-go. I don't care how much money you have, because I have to actually tolerate you, and I don't tolerate a lot of it. But he had them doing some things, honey. I mean, out of all the men there are in the world, because dick is so plentiful, it's abundant, it's everywhere. Why would you want to share willingly, knowingly share another woman's man? And then you really think that you're the only one? You really think that you're the only one? Girl. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, he goes to the side chick's house just because he's bored. This is the thing that he does though. It's like a pattern that he does. Like if he's not getting his with Joyce, he'll go to the side chick and back and forth and back and forth. So when he goes to the side chick's house, she was like, I need help with these babies. Can you help? He can't even be bothered to pick up his own children. He can't even be bothered to like hold the baby. Like he's very like, this man is just, he's the scum of the earth. Like he can't be bothered to hold his own children, to stop them from crying, to soothe them. Like he wants her to go down on him. Like he's a sex addict. That's pretty much something that you find out very early on. It's not anything that's discussed, but he's very much a sex addict. Now, one of the episodes, I think it's maybe in the middle, kind of like maybe 15, 16 or something like that. One of the episodes, they do a callback or they do a, what do you call that? When they go back in time or whatever. The casting was pretty good for the younger actors, but it kind of is implied that he had a rocky or kind of like tumultuous relationship with his dad. Maybe he didn't know his dad. Maybe his dad was abusive. And that kind of tracks. I'm nobody's therapist, but that kind of tracks to why he's fucking insane. He's psychological. Like he's sex addict. He's a narcissist. And I hate using that word because everybody uses that word. But he's a narcissist. He's a sex addict. He's disgusting. And where's the appeal? Episode 11 was his birthday, I think. And again, he's going back and forth between anybody who can tolerate him. Now, at this point, Joyce is over him. I guess she's accepted the fact that he has these twins. And I guess she's still with him. Her mom is like, now her mom was getting on my nerves because sometimes she would say stupid shit like, why are you wearing the tracksuits? Like, your husband's not going to like you in that tracksuit. And then she tells her what she needs to be telling her in another episode, which is like, girl, what are you doing? What are you doing with him? What's going on? So it's like on one hand, you're making sense. On the other hand, you sound fucking dumb. So I don't understand what the point of her mom even being there was. Honestly, I don't. Yeah, so the episode where his birthday, from what I remember, there is also another character named Essie. Essie she's presented as a childhood friend or a longtime friend. So Joyce in the beginning is friendly with her because she's a family friend. She has a daughter named Sarah, and then she also has a son named Freedom. So also, by all appearances, she's also dating the brother, Magesh, right? Now, again, polygamy is a thing in Africa, even though the brother wasn't married to anyone. I guess it was okay that he was dating the side chick before she broke up with him to get with Jonas. And he was also in a long-term relationship with Essie. I think they lived together, or they appeared to live together. They were kind of putting on this mirage or this front of them being in a relationship. Basically, he's putting his life on hold, really, to be in this, from what we understand it to be a fake relationship with Essie, because Jonas doesn't want anyone to know that Essie is actually also one of his wives. Essie lives in, I think she lives in, is it Soweto? See, I can't do things. She lives in the hometown that they both grew up in. She still lives there from what I understand. And he got her a nice house and he sends her money. The brother actually brings her money and they're taken care of. Her and her kids are taken care of. Again, she comes to all the functions. Her and her kids be sitting there kikiing and talking shit. You don't really connect the dots at first because she is kind of like being messy and saying little things under her breath. And when she's going to these functions, and she is kind of like clocking and like checking Joyce, like you don't really think anything of it until you get to the part where, well, again, one of the episodes where they go back in time to where they were kids, and it's pretty much discovered that Essie has been in love with him since they were kids, basically. So growing up, she would see him playing all these little girls. Like she would see him playing all these girls left to right. And she'd be like, nigga, you ain't shit, but I still love you. Fast forward now, she has the 2 children, one of which is his, which is Sarah. And everybody thinks that the brother is Sarah's dad, and he's not. Sarah doesn't even, does Sarah know? Did Sarah know that the brother, Magesh, wasn't her father? Because I know she was talking about some kind of party she wanted to have, and she wanted her dad to be there. I'm trying to think. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if she knew that Jonas was her father until a certain point in the series. That's something that I missed. Either way, at some point she does realize that Jonas is her father, and the jig is up or whatever, and she's trying to connect with him. She's trying to have a relationship with him. It's to the point where it's kind of like she's going mad, honestly. It's kind of like she's having this mental break because he's being so mean to her, his own daughter, who he's trying to hide. He's basically trying to hide Essie and her family because he doesn't want anyone to know. This is my thing. You don't want anyone to know about your other family, basically, your other wife. But you out here just doing whatever the fuck you want to do. Like, you know that your actions have consequences, right? And so you don't want this little girl to have a party because the dad would be someone that would be kind of like, hey, this is my dad, this is my party, and he is the father. And nobody, Joyce doesn't know, like, I guess the kids don't know that Sarah is her. That's what I'm saying. I think I missed that. I think I missed it if they didn't know. They didn't know. A lot of things happen. Listen, it never gave video lesson. I never promised that. But either way, he has Sarah as an outside baby. Now, when they go back in time and they show how him and Essie's relationship flourished, he was basically in and out and doing whatever he wanted to do. They had like a sexual relationship, I guess, and he was very cunning. He was very smooth and very charming, and he just did whatever he wanted to do. He was coming and going and just leaving her out to dry. She had a baby by someone else, which was Freedom, and I think he's older than Sarah. And then Sarah, of course, was Jonas's daughter. So they ended up getting married. Now, at first, I thought that Essie was his first wife, but I guess I missed it that he basically, when he was coming back and forth and doing whatever he wanted, that's when he met Joyce and her dad. And that's how he, met Joyce, married her, Joyce's actual first wife. And Essie found this out when she read something in the paper. He's like this, at this point, he's like a businessman and he's doing things. He promised her a car. He did come back and bring her a car. And he keeps on like breadcrumbing her throughout the years, even though he's married to someone else. So I guess he married her as the second wife to kind of pacify her or something. They had a whole little ceremony, whatever. I just feel like, what? Like I asked Mariah, the scientist, some months back, is it cocaine that's in the dick? Like, is it cocaine that's in the penis? Like, what is it that's making y'all act like this? Like, I don't understand. And like I said all the time, I've had my dumb moments when it comes to niggas, but my God. So Essie is basically a kept woman. She is still getting her little thing on. She got her little yeah on the side. And like Jonas is coming and going whenever he pleases. Like on his birthday episode, wasn't nobody really trying to fuck with him. Like Joyce was like, get out of my face. The baby mama was like, get out of my face. Essie had somebody else in the house doing her little thing. Jonas comes in unannounced and he was like, what you doing here, little nigga? The little nigga pulled a gun on him like, yeah, you need to get out of here. Because it's like, how can you be so bold to treat me like shit and just come and go as you please and expect for me to not be up in here laid up with somebody? Like, you have a whole like first wife. Like, what do you, and it's hard. I don't really feel sorry for any of these women. Honestly, I don't, because again, they could have always chose to leave. Even after Joyce, you figure out, you know what, this man ain't shit. I made a huge mistake. You could have just left. I appreciate what happened at the end for real, because that was a doozy, but you really could have just left them. Like, you really could have just left. But yeah, he's ashamed of Essie, his family with Essie, which is basically Essie and Farrah, and he's telling the daughter, don't post on social media. Like, she comes to his office and she's like, when are we going to hang out? When are we going to spend time together? And they took a picture together for his birthday, because he actually went to Essie's house for his birthday. And they had a cake and all that stuff. And he was just sitting there like, whatever. Like, he needs that attention. Like I said, he's a narcissist and he needs that attention. And I guess Essie was like the last resort, since the first two weren't trying to like deal with him. So the daughter, they took a picture and she brought that picture to his office and she kind of like tried to replace it with the picture that he had of the baby shower, because there was a baby shower for the twins. I'm all over the place. And he wanted to take a picture with the twins and with the twins, Joyce, the wife, and the side chick. He made both of them take a picture together. He made them take a picture together at the baby shower. And again, Essie and her kids are always coming to the functions, but he tries to kind of like keep it under wraps. Like, he tries to get them to kind of like not say anything about who they are and things like that. It's just so fucking crazy. Yeah. So at the end of his birthday episode, he ends it with, I guess he has a piece of cake from earlier that day at Essie's house. And he looks like he's drunk. He looks like he's really deep in his feelings. You can tell that he has demons. Like, he's demonic, like he's evil. And again, it could have been his upbringing. Maybe his dad was a monster. I don't know. So it's just shown like the last scene of that episode. He's just kind of like digging into his cake and just really, he looks like he's borderline manic. Like, he looks like he's so disgusted with himself, as he should be. Nobody wants to deal with him. And like, well, why are you so dealing with him? Yeah. The baby shower, was the baby shower after the birthday episode? I think it was. So yeah, the birthday episode and the baby shower episode, he made these women take a picture together. So you're going to make me, your wife, take a picture with your side chick, with whom you've had these twins with. And they sat there and did it. Like, nigga, you get the fuck out of my face. Like, really? Okay. So the daughter, Joyce and Jonas's daughter, her name is, so the daughter, Joyce and Jonas's daughter, has a friend. The friend's name is it Ladani? Now I put down little girl. So little girl is the daughter's friend. Little girl is the daughter's friend. The daughter is the daughter. I'm sorry with the names. So little girl, during the baby shower episode, they're talking or whatever, and she's like, yeah, you know, she pulled out some really sexy red panties, and she was like, this is what niggas like, and she was like, if you don't have sex with him, he's gonna leave, because the daughter is contemplating having sex for the first time with her boyfriend. And yeah. Then all of a sudden, the little girl, starts to throw up. And I'm thinking, they should punish me. Now, prior to this, I forgot what episode it was. While Jonas and Joyce were trying to like he was trying to like pacify her basically. He said, let's go on a trip. Let's go to our house, wherever the fuck. They have a house somewhere. So they had a little trip and they had this montage of how they're just having this great trip and this great whatever. And they're just so happy. So while they're away, the kids have a party. So at this party, they're doing the things and drinking and all that. So it turns out that Joyce and Jonas came back early, I guess, from their little getaway, and they see all the kids there, and they break up the party, and boom, there you have it. Also, I think this was the same episode where Sarah is Essie's daughter, who is also Jonas's daughter, but she's hurt, really, and she's acting out because she's hurt. I think this is the same episode because there was a party going on. I think this might be the same episode where she goes down on the daughter's boyfriend, but it might be the episode after. Basically, Sarah's going through it, and she's acting out, and it's very obvious that's what she's doing. She almost got ass beat, okay? But the little girl throws up, and I'm thinking, oh my God, she's... And that's when I kind of thought, he had sex with this little girl. Now, again, I don't know how old they are. Maybe they're about to be in college. I don't know. But either way, that's fucking nasty. Like, what are you doing? Like a child. Yeah. And it pretty much solidifies that in a later episode where they do a flashback to Jonas and Joyce coming back from their getaway. And he's scanning the house. He's looking at everybody having a good time. And he's like, what the fuck is going on? And then he hyper focuses on little girl. Ladani, little girl, and she's gyrating on the counter, and he's like, again, sex addict, pervert, disgusting. So you put two and two together. Yeah, these two have had sex. The panties that she pulls out when she's talking to her friends in the daughter's room were panties that he bought her. They started messing around because she works at this bar or something with her boyfriend. She's in a long-term relationship with someone who seems to be a nice guy. And he goes to this bar, I guess frequents this bar or whatever. And they start whatever. I guess he tries to woo her. He grooms her into, fast forward, he's taking her to one of the homes somewhere and she's feeling all like lavish and luxurious. And she's feeling so special because this rich man wants to take me. And the thing that blew me is that she's telling the daughter, which is her friend, she's like, yeah, I met this guy and he's going to take me out of the town for the weekend and blah, blah, blah. And all of this stuff. And turn out it's your daddy. Like, yeah, girl, fucking your daddy. That was dirty as hell. Like, she's telling her friend all about this older guy and it's your dad. So yeah, fast forward, she's pregnant. When I think she found out she was pregnant before she had a miscarriage. She had a miscarriage. She called him. Of course, he wasn't available. She ends up, I guess, calling the daughter, her friend, and Joyce comes to the hospital too. And Joyce is like, who did this? Da, 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 da. Joyce is, Joyce sees her as another daughter. She's pregnant by your husband. I'm sorry if this is confusing, but it's just a lot going on, and I couldn't keep track of my thoughts. Basically, this guy is out here wilding. She tells him, like, as she's calling him, blowing him up, he's with the side chick, Latiba, the one with the twins. They're doing whatever. They're not having sex or anything like that. He's pretty much like trying to get in where he fit in again, and she's kind of like paying him dust. She sees his phone ring, and she already knows what's up. And so it's the little girl saying, hey, where have you been? Where are you? I had a miscarriage, da, 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 da. He pretends to act like he cares. I don't even think he goes to the hospital to see her or anything like that. This is a lot. This is going on. And I already regret doing this, but we're going to do it. Okay. Yeah. So Menzie is the son. He's Joyce and Jonas's son. He is in love with Ladani. Ladani is the little girl. Now, this was kind of annoying because my thing is, first of all, this girl has a boyfriend. Number one. Number two, she doesn't like you the way you like her. That's number two. Number three, he seemed like he was a decent guy. Like, him and the daughter seemed like to be the 2 out of 3 people who had the most common sense. But as the series progressed, you can kind of see Menzie, the son, kind of slowly turning into his dad, basically. He's like, oh, well, I'm a good guy. He has the good guy syndrome. I'm a good guy. You should like me because I like you. That's how he kind of treats this girl. Like he's obsessed with her, kind of. He gets in a fight. He takes some drugs at this club or whatever early on. He gets in a fight to kind of like protect her. He's pretty much obsessed with her, which I don't think is flattering. I don't think is cute. If she's not showing the same type of vibes or the rhythm that you're showing her, I really want y'all sons to understand this. Just because you like her does not mean she has to like you. Hello? It doesn't mean that she's a bitch if she doesn't like you. It doesn't mean that she likes assholes if she doesn't like you. It just means that she doesn't like you. Okay? So he's like obsessed with this girl, like he's in love with her. Okay? Keep that in mind. So Sarah, again, how I said it's Sarah, the daughter who he wants to keep secret. Sarah is, again, she's broken. She doesn't really know where she fits in. I think she's probably 18 or 19. She's young. And she actually tries to kiss her brother, which is Menzie. I forgot what episode that was. That's what I'm saying. She's sucking basically her sister's boyfriend's dick. She tries to kiss. No. She didn't try to kiss Menzie. She tried to kiss Miguel, which is the brother, which is the guy who everybody thought was her dad. Because he was pretty much the only father figure that she had. So there was a scene where they were at the table and I think it was her birthday or something like that. He bought her a laptop or some shit. And she tries to like kiss him. Again, and I don't really blame her because again, she was just broken and she was just looking for that father figure. He does tell Essie and Essie is upset, but she doesn't do too much because it's basically her fault. And I think the brother pretty much said that. He was like, this is on you. Essie was just loyal to the very end. And I'm just like, this nigga did not care about any of y'all. Like he really did not. Everybody's just got a lot going on. And he's the focal point. He's the center of all of this. He's like a cancer. Yeah. Now I skipped over a few episodes. The episode shortly after Matifa has the twins, there's a scene on one of the episodes where Grace is like, Grace, why do you want to say Grace? Joyce is like, you know what? If you want him, then let's have him together. Let's file the paperwork to have, we'll all be married to this nigga. So at first, they're both like Jonas and the side chick are like, what? And she's like, no, if you want to have my husband, then we could both be married to him. So eventually they agreed. She actually invited the lady to dinner with everybody at the table. It causes complete mayhem. She said, well, this is your new mother. She told the kids that this is your new mother. So this is kind of where the polygamist kind of thing comes in. So this is wife number 3. So Joyce is wife number 1, Essie is wife number 2, and the side chick is wife number 3. And then, mind you, this is before anybody even knew about Essie being wife number anything. Oh, it was a mess. And so, yeah. So I don't think that the side chick really stayed with him full time, but the babies were definitely there. I think maybe that's what I'm saying. I think she still had her own place. But around episode 19, what episode was it where he starts putting his hands on them? He starts actually physically hitting these women. He beats up the side chick, Matifa. He beats her up because she's pretty much like, fighting him back like, no, you're not going to do me like this. And he just pretty much, he beats her. I think he rapes her. She goes to visit his brother. Yeah, and I think he gives him the money that he was supposed to give Essie. Because I think he gives Essie money every month or something like that. He was like, this is Essie's payment, but I'll give it to you if you need it. And he sees her face. He was like, he did this to you. At this point, his brother is starting to realize, okay, so he's really a monster. Like, my brother is really a monster. Like, God, he really is. And you kind of enabled it, but okay. I mean, but at the same time, like, what can you really do? This is a grown ass man. Like, it is what it is. And so the brother gives Matifa the payment or whatever so she can do what she has to do, take care of her babies or whatever. And he also, at the same time, is abusing Joyce. So he also beat Joyce like maybe the next day or the day before. And so they end up seeing each other, and they, you know, Matiba takes off her glasses and she shows her that, you know, she got her ass beat. Joyce says, I got my ass beat too. And so the side chick says, hey, you know, can I leave my girls with you just for a few days? I just need to get some things together. And in that point, I knew that she was going to leave them babies there. That's exactly what she did. She left her babies because at that point, Joyce had already kind of like settled in with the fact that these kids are here and it is what it is, right? So she's like, yeah, of course, you can leave them, you know, with me. They're always welcome here, whatever. She ends up actually not coming back. She leaves a note and saying, you know, I can't do it. Bye. So she leaves Joyce with these twin girls. And while this is all happening, it's on episode 19. Jonas moves the little girl in, Ladani. Like, she thinks that she's living the high life. She's like, yeah, this is my nigga. Like, he moves her into one of the apartments I guess he has, and she's filthy because she's a little girl. She's not even really taking care of it. He's telling her, this little girl, because Joyce comes over there about something, and she sees that the little girl is there, and the little girl is very arrogant, very much like, yeah, this is my nigga now, whatever. And Joyce is like, girl, you don't even know what's about to happen to you. And so Jonas is like, they're all going to pay. Pay for what? Like, nobody did anything to you. You're literally the monster in the story. So again, this man is going back and forth. He's living with the little girl, but it's like he needs this attention all the time. Like, he needs people to be fawning over him and pleading for him. At one point early on in the series, before the little girl was even in the picture and he was messing with just the side chick, Joyce was begging him not to leave the house. I think he's one of those people that just feeds off of that shit. This lady literally got on her knees and like fell to the ground, grabbed his leg so he wouldn't leave to go to the side chick. He said, okay, I'm not going to leave. This nigga turns around and books it to the car. She chases him. Like, why are you begging this man to stay? Like, that's what he wants. That's why he jumps. When he's not getting what he wants from one person, he jumps to the next person, the next person. So he's still messing around with he was still messing around with all three of them, basically, just jumping back and forth, back and forth. Now, at some point, Joyce calls the brother, Magesh, and she says, I need you to help me with this nigga. I need you to help me get him out of the house. Because she's trying to tell him, I can't do this anymore. I have to leave or whatever. And he's basically, you have to leave, and he's basically not leaving. At some point also, I think that she thought she was pregnant or something like that. I don't remember. I think that was before she decided to give her tubes tied. I think she thought she was pregnant, and she was like rehashing everything that happened in her the previous pregnancy, specifically the one that she had just had like a son, maybe a year prior to that. So she was pregnant and having a baby while you were out cheating on her with the side chick. Like, this man is insane. So when she was thinking about, I could possibly be pregnant right now, she was thinking about how he never really helped her with the babies before. Like, he was just one of those husbands that doesn't want to do anything. He would blame her for just little things. Like, he was awful to her. And I think that's what prompted her to go and get her tubes tied or get an abortion. It couldn't have been an abortion because she would have been pregnant. So I think she probably was not pregnant. Maybe it was a scare or something, or it was a negative test result. And then she probably said, let me go get my tubes tied. I think that's what led up to it. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know the things. It was just a lot going on. Yeah. So I want to say this is 3 years later. I know it came up on the screen. I could be wrong, but he's still with this little girl. He is inviting her to like business parties. And one of his business parties is basically a bachelor party where he's outright like messing around with strippers and stuff in front of those little girls. Like, and just daring her to say something. I think it's awful. And even before he was messing around with this little girl, he was in their house, in the kitchen, like flirting with her in his own home. Anybody could have just came in. I think the son came in one time and before he's just awful. Yeah. Yeah. I'm jumping all over the place. I'm just trying to like pinpoint like the things that stuck out for me. So yeah, he's with this woman and now he starts to get sick. Like he's sick and people don't really know. That's the thing. That's the thing that I question. Like this man is sick. He didn't tell y'all what was wrong with him. Y'all didn't ask. The brother is telling Essie, I think he's like, yeah, he has sores in his mouth and he's this and that. And I'm like, y'all don't know the symptoms for AIDS and HIV. Like, y'all don't know the symptoms. Y'all don't know how that, you know, that's the thing. When the doctor told him that he had HIV, of course, he was devastated. And he was kind of thinking back of all the things that he did and all these things. And I'm thinking, okay, so what's going to happen? Is he going to tell the people that he's been with that he has this disease? Like, he's still messing around with the young girl. She must have it. Now, again, I'm skipping all over the place, but the brother, Minzy, that was in love with the little girl that his daddy was fucking, he actually caught them because the little girl worked in a club. I think she worked in the street. She worked in some kind of club and he was there and Minzy actually caught them. He caught her giving her his own father head. So he caught the little girl that he was in love with going down on his dad. So he didn't really act immediately and do anything, but I think he just kept it in and kind of like let all that fester. And that's one of the reasons why I think that he's basically going to end up turning into his dad. If there's a season 2, he's basically going to be another Jonas, basically. Because he's like, oh, how could you do this to me, my father? Like, yeah, but at the same time, that wasn't your girlfriend. She didn't like you like that. But is it fucked up? Also, she was probably a minor. And so I really don't blame her too much. But it's like, yeah, it's fucked up all the way around. But he did find out that they were messing around. Eventually, everybody found out all the things. There was this huge thing. After she had the miscarriage, it did come out that, you know, he was the father. And her mom came to the house and her mom was mad. I'm like, really? The baby mama was there too. Like everybody was there looking at him like, you really had sex with the little girl and you got her pregnant? Yeah. Fast forward, now he finds out that he has HIV because he's out here slinging his thing out. And he doesn't want to get treatment. He doesn't want to take his medications. He doesn't want to do any of those things.
Okay. Sorry, this might look a little different because my memory card was full and yeah. So yeah, I just, yeah, I don't know. When I saw that he was sick, I was like, okay, so how is he going to tell everybody that he's sick? Like he's going to tell these women that he's sick and he has HIV and that he's dying. And they see him sick. They see him not doing well. He's looking horrible and they see him slowly declining and he's still living with the little girl. He's still there and she's not really taking care of him. That little girl took him through that. Whoever there is, she took him through there and all the way back. And there was some satisfaction there because she was a young girlie and she was out here. She had niggas at the house. She was fucking this nigga in the man house, honey, while he's in his deathbed stinking. And the dude that she's messing with, he's like, you know, are you sure it's okay for us to be doing this with your dad in the house? She said, no, that nigga fine. She took him through there. She knew that he was sick. Nobody knew that he had HIV though. Again, I don't know how they didn't know that. Like, I don't even know how that wasn't something that was even brought up in conversation. Like, this nigga's a hoe. You sure he ain't got that thing? He ain't got that ninja? He got that package? I know people used to call that the package. Am I old? I don't know. And I'm not joking about people having HIV, but if you out here slinging that thing, then you need it. You deserve it. You deserve everything that you get. Hello? Yeah. I have all these notes here and I'm pretty sure that I skipped a lot of stuff. Yeah. There was a point in the
in the show where he is, after he finds out that he's sick, he's sitting in the car with his brother, I think. And it seems like he's actually having a moment of humanity. It seems like he's actually like coming to terms with, okay, I'm going to die. I'm a horrible person, whatever. And at that point, you can kind of see, even though this is a fictional character, you can kind of see, okay, this man has really been through a lot in his life, which probably led to him being a horrible person. And even though I wouldn't wish anything like that on anybody, like having that disease or whatever. I mean, cause and effect. I just feel like, but he did kind of have a moment with his brother where it just seemed like he was leveling with him and he was just really being a human being. I think he even offered to give him the business or something like that. Now, when Joyce asked the brother Magesh to come get this nigga out of her house, I'm going backwards again. He really stood on that. And Jonas actually left. And then for some reason, the brother thought, yeah, I'm going to walk my happy ass into the office on Monday. Nigga, no, you're not. Like, of course, Jonas got mad and denied all of his access. The security was like, yeah, you're not allowed on the premises anymore because, of course, he's a narcissist. He's petty. He's toxic. And he didn't like the fact that you basically tried to stun him and tell him that he couldn't go into his own house. So I was like, why did you think that you would be able to do that? So, of course, they pan upstairs to Jonas, and this is before he got sick, and he's just looking down like, yeah, you don't work here anymore. So when they had the moment in the car when he's sick, I thought I remember him saying that he wanted him to have the company or some shit like that. I don't know. But he seemed to have a come to Jesus kind of moment. It's very, very, very minuscule. I'm just looking at the notes. Joyce is having an event. This is maybe episode 20 or something like that. She's having this event for her, whatever the fuck. And I think she wrote a book. She wrote a book. So she's having a book launch release party or something. Everybody's there. This nigga is getting on this little girl nerves, and she wheels him in the wheelchair into the function, stops everything. And she's like, y'all need to take care of him. But I can't. And he's like, even in death, even him being like on death's door, he's still being an asshole to Joyce. He's still kind of talking to her like, bitch, whatever. And like, she actually, Minzy, the son told her, don't do this. Don't let him come back into this home. She brings him back into the home to take care of him, which she doesn't really do too much. I mean, he's in the bed most of the time. I think that she pushed him down. At one point, he fell out of the wheelchair. She's laying in her room and she can hear him coughing and moaning. And I can only imagine the disgust, anger, rage, just the angst, the mental turmoil that she was in. But I always bring it back to, you could have left him. You had money. You had resources to leave this man. Now, if it was a pride thing, an ego thing, whatever, if it was, well, I was the first, none of that shit even fucking matters. He doesn't care about you. He doesn't care about your churn. He don't care about y'all. He's abusive to the kids, verbally. Like, he tries to fight the son. Like, he's horrible. He's a horrible human being. This thing is about to come off my head. So yeah, I know I'm going all over the place, but there's just a lot going on. If you watched it, you know what I'm talking about. So we're here. Okay. If you haven't watched it, why are you still? So yeah. Yeah. I put Joyce pushes him out of the wheelchair. Her monologue was overdue, but I still don't feel bad for her. She should have been left that man. So she had this long monologue where she's pretty much saying, you know, what I had to deal with, blah, blah, blah. I don't feel bad for any of them. He's on his deathbed and he's in the bed and he's asking Joyce to forgive him. And he was like, can you lay next to me? And she actually gets in the bed like, nigga, good night. Hello, good night. I just, call me a bitch, call me crazy, whatever. Yeah, I said I wouldn't have gotten in the bed with him. And then as she's in the bed, I think they're having like this montage of the different flashbacks of them having a happy life or whatever. That didn't move me at all. He's a horrible person. Even on his deathbed, he was horrible to his daughter. Like, she was like, can you just, it was his birthday again and they had like a little birthday thing. She was like, can you just apologize? And he was like, no.
He's awful. Yeah. I don't know how long the twins were older, so I think it was that 3-year mark. And then I'm jumping all over the place. Let me go back. Child, there was some drama with the funeral. So, okay, Joyce being the first wife obviously thought, okay, he dies. I'm surprised. Now, before I get to the funeral. Okay. So the night before he died, Joyce, I think this is when he actually asked her to get in the bed with him. And so she got in the bed with him and she was just kind of like, you know how you're in like a hospital bed with somebody. So you're kind of like, so she's in the bed with him and she's whispering in his ear. I think this is the same night. She's whispering in his ear about everything that happened and how he, everything that happened up until the point where him being on his deathbed, basically. Now, I completely skipped over this, and this is a pivotal part of the of the show. So somehow he ends up in Matiba's apartment. I forgot how he ended up in the side chick's apartment. I think it was an apartment that he got her or something like that. Either way, a woman knocks on the door. The little girl leaves. She's not there anymore, I don't think. Now, this is before he gets sick. He's messing with the little girl. The little girl lives with him, but I think it's Matiba's old apartment, something to do with the side chick's apartment or something like that. So he's healthy and well at this point. This was before he got sick or whatever. And so someone knocks on the door. He opens the door and it's this nice, attractive woman, right? And so she's like, hey, I'm Matiba's friend. I forgot something. I have to get something out of the house. So I think it was the side chick's house. I don't know. Either it was her house or it was a house that he bought for her or something. And I guess he had moved a little girl in there. It was his house essentially, but whatever. So the friend is like, hey, I forgot something. I need to come inside the house. Why he let her in for sex addict. That's why he let her in. So he lets her in the house. Now, again, because I'm skipping all around the place, early on in the series, Joyce gets arrested. I think she gets arrested for beating up the side chick. Or no, she tries to set the house on fire. This is early on when he's messing with the side chick before the side chick gets pregnant. She tries to set the house on fire. She's doing all this stupid shit instead of just leaving the nigga. So she goes to jail. When she's in the jail cell, she meets a lady that's there and she looks, the lady looks like she done been through hell and back. She's talking about this nigga that she was with that gave her HIV. So you don't really think much about it in the beginning because you're like, okay, whatever, you got HIV, whatever. So Joyce gets out of jail, whatever. We proceed along with the rest of the episodes, and then we fast forward to him having HIV. Then we fast forward to go back to when I was saying that Matiba's friend, she said, I'm Matiba's friend and I left something here at the house. I need to get something. Knowing that he's a sex addict, knowing that 9 times out of 10, he's going to end up fucking this lady, which is exactly what happened. He had sex with this woman. And I think this was shortly after the little girl left or something. I think he had told her to go shopping or some shit like that for something. This is before some kind of party that he had. Lord, I'm sorry if you're confused. You shouldn't be confused because if you watch this shit, I'm just giving you my opinion on this shit. My scatterbrained, unwell opinion. And so basically he has sex with this woman because again, he's a sex addict. And fast forward, I think 2-3 years later, he's sick and he has HIV. So Joyce is in the bed with him because, again, he asked Joyce to get in the bed with him. He's on his deathbed and she's talking to him about everything that he's done and everything that, she's gone through and this and that and that. And she slowly starts to tell him how she was able to basically cause his demise. Again, instead of leaving him, she says, oh, I'm going to get my lick back. And this time I'm going to do it. Now, when she was in the jail cell with this woman, there was no indication that they exchanged numbers or anything like that. I would hope so, because how else would she know? They just showed her leaving and the lady was still there. So I don't know. Let's just say that they somehow exchanged numbers or she was able to get in contact with this lady. She told the lady my husband's an absolute whore. And if he sees you, he's definitely going to want to fuck. So I'm going to pay you to infect him with HIV. Because he just won't learn. He won't learn, and I have to make him learn. So at the end of the day, Joyce was the culprit. Joyce was the real villain of the story because I'm saying real villain playfully, but she's the villain of the story because she orchestrated him being infected with HIV. And is that some nasty, nasty work, honey? Yes, it's nasty work, honey. Nasty. But the way I screamed, girl, I said, I know you fucking lying. Because I didn't even think about it. And then they did a flashback because she's telling him all of this while he's listening. And he's just like, he's sickly. He can't really talk like that. And he's just like, so she's basically confessing to him, I killed you. Yeah. And that must have been a sweet feeling because you get to see this man like slowly deteriorate and just like slowly just get what's due to him. But it's like, at what cost? Because you out here looking fucking stupid behind this man. Like, yeah, you killed him. Okay. But like, what now? Like what? Your kids probably are going to end up resenting you. The daughter went out and did her thing, came back. She seemed like she's accomplished. And again, at his birthday party, shortly before he died, she was like, can you just apologize? And he was like, no, for what? Like, up until his death, he was fucking awful. So, yeah. So he dies and... yeah, he dies. Now that he ends up dying that next day or that morning. Joyce is in her room and she hears a lot of commotion. Now let me flash back. Let me rewind. One of these episodes, she actually tried to kill him before. She tried to poison his food with boric acid or something like that. And he survived it. And I think he kind of like knew that something was going on, but yeah, that didn't work. And so I guess this is the kicker. Like, and it's a genius idea because if my husband is a man who can't keep his dick inside of his pants, absolutely I'm going to infect him with HIV. Hello? Because if I didn't do that, he's probably going to end up getting it anyway. And mind you, he gave both of them, the side chick and her, chlamydia or something like that. So they had already had STIs. Like, it was only a matter of time that they would have continued to mess with him, that he was going to give them HIV because he was going to end up contracting it anyway. So I guess she figured he was going to get it anyway. He was going to get it anyway. That was genius. The way that plot twist had me gagging, honey, gagging. I said, okay. And at this point, my sisters hadn't seen it. So I was like, y'all need to see this damn show so we can talk about it. My sister called me last week. She was like, I just saw it. I was like, yes. That's why I kept on telling you to watch it. But yeah, let me focus. So the funeral comes and again, Joyce is the first wife. So naturally she's thinking, okay, it's my husband. And my thing is, why do you even fucking care? Like, who cares who has the body? I don't want to have anything to do with this nigga. I'm not even going to the funeral. Are you kidding? I'm not paying for shit. Throw him in some dirt. I'm not keeping up appearances. Good riddance. Like, what are we doing? So she's like talking to the funeral people and they're like, oh, well, Essie already came and got the body. So Essie got his body up from under her. Again, why are we fighting over this punk ass man's body? AIDS infested body. He didn't care about one of y'all. Not one of y'all. Not even his children. He didn't even care about his children. So Essie got the body up under her and she went to the funeral that Essie was having because she was trying to have it before Joyce, and she took the body back. And I'm just like, why are y'all fighting over this man that did not care about y'all? He did not care about y'all like at all. He did not care about y'all at all. I wouldn't have had nothing to do. Go ahead and take the body. Essie was annoying as fuck to me. She was loyal to the very end. When he was on his deathbed, she came up to Joyce's house when Joyce decided to take him back in. And she was like, I want to see him. For what? That nigga probably asked you to suck his dick on his deathbed because he doesn't care about y'all. What do you want to see him for? What was the voodoo that he was doing? Again, was it cocaine? I never want to be that dick happy or dick sprung to where I am just like, yeah, I want to see this man. I have to see him on his deathbed because I love him so much, even though he treated me like pure D shit. Yeah. It was a huge spectacle at Essie's funeral for a man that hated them. Yeah. Joyce wore white to the funeral. Symbolic, maybe, yeah. Because most people wear black. She wore white. I think that was pretty symbolic. Matipa shows up to the funeral. Her twins don't know who she is. Of course they don't know because why are you here? That was dirty. And then when they found the note that she left early on, when she had left them as babies, they show her crying and like driving away somewhere. I don't know where she went or whatever. And she's like crying. I'm like, what? You could have took those damn babies with you. You didn't want them, Sharon. You didn't want those babies unless it was attached to that man. That's why it was so easy for you to leave them. And my thing is, of course they didn't show this part, but I wonder if there was another season, would she want them back? And if I was Joyce, I would be like, you know what? You left these kids here with me. So no, you can't have them back. Maybe go to court and try to get, your custody or whatever. But then, even then, at that point, I'm already going to be like emotionally attached to these kids. Like they're my own at that point. So then I'm going to worry about, are you going to be able to really take care of them? Because you really just left them. You left them, even though you knew that they would be taken care of, but you still abandoned them. So like, I don't know. That was just fucked up. She very well could have took those kids. She had the money. She had the resources. She could have just took her kids and gone on somewhere. That was really selfish. And yeah, she didn't care about those kids. And Joyce did give her a look. And I guess it was a look like, bitch, why are you here? Because I wrote down, I don't understand the look she gave her, Matipa. Okay. The little girls at the funeral, Essie came to Joyce's funeral, and she pulled up her own little chair. I guess there was nowhere for her to sit, her and Sarah. But yeah, like I was saying, before he died, they didn't let Essie in the house. Like she didn't let Essie in the house because like you lied to me. You had me thinking that you were my friend. You were a friend of my husband, like a friend of the family. You had me thinking that your daughter was just some other nigga's daughter. Like you lied to me. So I understand why Joyce didn't let her in the house. Like, no, no. So she was like, well, I made him some soup. Girl, take your soup and go on somewhere. That man do not care about you. All that stuff. Yeah. The little girl had a meltdown at the funeral. I guess everything just hit her all at once. I don't know why she was really crying. She acted like she hated the nigga. Yeah. And I put here at the beginning of the funeral scene, like on the very first episode, I said to myself, there's about to be a plot twist. And indeed there was. So that was a plot twist. That's pretty much how he died. Because in the beginning, you think, okay, he's in the casket. Somebody killed him. And then that paired with what she said to him in the casket, you can pretty much put two and two together and say, maybe she killed him. But then that would have been too obvious. But she was the person who killed him, basically. It was really, really good. Yeah. Yeah. And so before he died, Minzy, the son, they had kind of like a tumultuous kind of relationship. Like I said, he would kind of bully his son. He would say that he wants his son to run the business and things like that. And I think at one point he took that away or something to that effect because Minzy, the son, was being friendly and like kind to him towards, while he was on his deathbed. And the daughter was like, why are you being so nice to him? Like, why are you acting like everything's okay and it's not? And so it turns out that Minzy was getting close to him and being more kind to him so he can kind of like sign over the company to him so he can have everything signed over to him. I guess it wasn't that arrangement before. Maybe he changed it. I don't know. Either way, the little boy, the son, has ownership of the company. I don't know if it's 100%. I don't know. So it looks like there might be another season or another part of the story where Minzy is probably going to be maybe not the same as his father, but it's going to be some more smoke in the city and some more shenanigans. And I'm here for it. I don't know if it needs to be 22 episodes. I don't know why we had to do that. I don't know if there's some kind of logistical reason. Like 30-minute episodes and like 22 of them things, and then you're watching it on a jailbroken Fire Stick. So like, and like the subtitles and the things, and like, I don't really, sometimes I scroll while I'm watching TV, so I have to like literally read what's on the TV screen. So I didn't like that, but it was just that good to where I'd be like, okay, I got to see what the next episode is giving. So it was really, really good. I apologize if I was all over the place. If you saw it, then you know the things. And if I missed some things, you know, let me know in the comments. Be nice, keep it cute. And yeah, those are my thoughts on The Polygamist. I probably will have some really good points that I think of later tonight, and I'm going to kick myself. I'm trying to make sure I'm thinking of everything. Yeah, I know it's easy to say what you would and wouldn't do in certain situations, but I know for good damn well and certain that I would not be Joyce or Essie or the other girl. But I don't know. And again, there's so many other African actors they could have got. It's so mean though, because people were online saying, out of all the niggas they could have got to play this part, he's supposed to be this playboy, this whatever. Then he got hips bigger than mine. I don't like a hippie man. I don't. And you got the nerve to be out here being a hoe. And it's like, there are women who justify this shit. There are women who really just live for men like that. And it's all just trauma bonding, honestly. It's all what it really be most of the time. So yeah, I want to make sure that I didn't miss anything. But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments. And yeah, it was a great show. It was, I saw an interview with the author. I meant to kind of write down some notes from that. I completely forgot to, but it was a pretty good interview. She was talking about, I think this was her first book or second book. And she said that the sales for the book have tripled like since June. Like, that's really good for her. I think that she started it in 2018 or something. Don't get me lying. Listen, I don't know. This is also new to me. I'm just saying the things. So yeah, if you haven't seen it, again, I don't know why you watched this whole thing, but if you did make it all the way to the end and you did also see the Polygamist and you have thoughts or maybe clear things up that I missed, let me know in the comments. Overall, it was really, really good. I enjoyed it. African shows be good, huh? They be good. They do. And yeah, again, if you made it all the way to the end of this video, thank you. And please like, comment, and subscribe, all of that if this is your vibe. And until next time, bye.